On this edition of Good Day DePaul, Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton go head-to-head in their first one-on-one debate. I'm Jennifer Zipser.
And I'm Daniel Beatty, and this is Good Day DePaul.
Many are calling it one of the most decisive events of the presidential campaign, the first one-on-one debate between Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump. DePaul students were among the millions who were watching.
Today, people are out here voting for the presidential election between Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump. Whatever the outcome, it's going to be an historical event nonetheless. For Good Day DePaul, I'm Jennifer Zipser.
For Hillary Clinton supporters, it was a night of shock and bitter disappointment. The raids by ICE, the Immigration and Customs Enforcement Group, are causing many Hispanics to reassess their situation in this country, and it's putting even more pressure on Chicago as a sanctuary city. I'm here outside of Wrigley Field where you can see the chaos is amongst us. Chicago Cubs fans are super excited, hoping that their team will win the World Series. Here behind me at the DePaul Student Center, twice a year a fair is put on to help students find their own apartments. What a beautiful day in the quad it is, but it's not so simple being a student when you have to constantly worry about your security and safety. The Gold Coast neighborhood is the neighborhood to come to if you're going to do some shopping. That is high-end shopping. And here in front of 935 North Rush Street, where the old Urban Outfitters used to be, is going to be home to Christian Dior this summer. I'm here in front of the DePaul University Center where students can come to get help for student counseling here on the third floor of the building. Over the years, DePaul's theater school has turned out a large number of successful actors. And as I found out, one of them has recently been making her mark on the Chicago theater scene. The results are in for the 2016 presidential campaign, and Donald J. Trump is our 45th president.
The votes are in, and America has spoken. It was a big win for the Republican Party, who have taken back the White House after 8 years of the Democratic Obama administration.
Wonderful. I can sleep tonight, for real.
The win came as a huge surprise to Clinton supporters. Early in the night, some Trump supporters doubted his ability to win the election.
I would almost be shocked because I feel like a lot of people do not like him, especially my generation. I'm a college student. A lot of my friends hate him. I mean, I would be surprised, but I'd be happy.
Trump's victory has left Clinton supporters shocked and concerned about how a man who has spoken against minorities and women could be our new president. But many Republicans are not concerned.
I just don't prioritize mean words over national security, over a wall, over better trade deals. I don't care.
Not only did the Republicans win the White House, but also won the Senate and the House of Representatives. President Trump focused on uniting the country in his victory speech.
Now it's time for America to bind the wounds of division. We have to get together. To all Republicans and Democrats and independents across this nation, I say it is time for us to come together as one united people.
While not everyone may agree with the outcome of this election, one thing that almost all can agree on is that this election was like none other in our nation's history. For Good Day DePaul, I'm Jennifer Zipser. In an act of defiance against the DePaul administration, the university's Young Americans for Freedom, or YAF, announced they would host conservative speaker Ben Shapiro, despite the fact that the university previously said that Shapiro could not speak on campus due to safety concerns. YAF chairman John Minster said they decided to take a stand, inviting Shapiro to speak alongside Christina Hoff Sommers, who is known for her criticism of feminism.
We wanted to make a point to the university that they can't just ban speakers over and over again. They have been widely criticized in not just media, but by DePaul students, by the DePaul Democrats, by so many different student groups that this is something that they should not do.
Well, it's unknown if Ben Shapiro will show up here at DePaul University. One thing's for sure, people are coming in hopes that he will.
Once he did in fact show up, Shapiro was met by university officials who told him he would be arrested if he tried to enter the venue.
So just to be clear, if I attempt to enter that hall right there and sit down just to listen to somebody speak, or if I attempt to ask a question or to engage in free speech, you will have me arrested at this point. Okay.
While Shapiro failed to gain admittance, Sommers went ahead with her lecture inside. About 10 minutes into her lecture, she picked up a phone call from Shapiro, who invited everyone off campus to hear him speak. The room quickly emptied as people made their way to the Greenhouse Theater Center off campus. Inside, Shapiro spoke about trigger warnings, safe spaces, free speech, and what he called white privilege.
Gotten rid of the trigger warnings and the microaggressions, then finally you have your pathetic safe spaces for all of these snowflakes who can't deal with the real world and are convinced that the real world is going to conform to your standards of what it ought to be.
It was drastic, and I honestly thought it was pretty cool that they did something like this.
DEF members say defiance over Shapiro is just the beginning. They say they'll continue to fight for their voice on campus. For Good Day DePaul, I'm Jennifer Zipser. Heather Holschneider says it's crucial that DePaul and other universities help undocumented students, that these students have lived here most of their lives in the United States and deserve to remain here.
If you took the time to meet somebody and talk to a young person who was brought here when they were 1 year old, 2 year old, and they have no family back in the sending country, they don't speak the language in the sending country, your heart would get moved pretty quickly to say, okay, for them, we have to agree to do something because they have no other place to go. And our good hearts, and especially the good heart that's characteristic of America in its whole history, should come to the fore right now.
For 19-year-old Brenda Gonzalez, getting a college education has not been easy.
Already hard enough being undocumented, much less trying to pay for your own education.
That could all change if President-elect Donald Trump fulfills his promise to get rid of a program that protects undocumented students like Brenda. The program is called the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals. It grants temporary relief to children brought here illegally and allows them to continue their studies. Elizabeth Ortiz, Vice President of Diversity and Equality at DePaul, is aware that many undocumented students feel that they are at jeopardy, but wants them to know that they are supported by DePaul.
I think people are more fearful for the future. Our job is to say we're going to continue to live by our mission, to follow our work, and to do the best we can to support students through this process and through these political times.
Chicago Mayor Rahm Emanuel says he presented the president-elect with a letter signed by 14 mayors across the country that pressed for the continuation of the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals, or DACA, immigration program.
It's still unclear just what President Trump will do with many of his campaign pledges. Will he follow through on them, or will he modify them? In the meanwhile, it's a difficult waiting game for undocumented students here at DePaul and around the nation. For Good Day DePaul, I'm Jennifer Zipser.
The Chicago Cubs have won the World Series with an 8-7 victory over the Cleveland Indians, this being the first World Series win since 1908. And 2 days later, the real celebration began and was in full effect during the Cubs' victory parade. There were some die-hard fans there.
The Cubs fan for 26 years.
As well as some younger fans.
Go Cubs go! Go Cubs go! Hey Chicago, what do you say? The Cubs are gonna win today.
Chicago Cubs are our world champions, and now in 2016 we're here to celebrate at the parade. As you can see, the crowd has gathered in masses. They've started here at Wrigley, but they have moved all the way downtown to Grant Park.
And bust down to Grant Park they did. There, a giant mass of people gathered for the victory speeches.
Chicago! Look what the boys got me!
And they ended the day with a very fitting song. For Good Day DePaul, I'm Jennifer Zipser.